What is up, YouTube? Welcome to Panfro Games, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about all of the leaked Pokemon so far for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and most of the Pokemon have now leaked, and I'm going to give you my personal takes on each one, and we're going to be showcasing these off with fan art because we're going to be dodging the Nintendo ninjas out here. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video. I really appreciate it, and let's dive right on in. And we're going to be using this Pokedex website by Makio and J. Ross's. So if you want to see it for yourself, you can check it out here. And yes, everything will be fan art. And we don't know every type, but we know most of the types. But for the most part, we pretty much know everything for Gen 9 right now. And starting off with the Sprigatito line, we know about Sprigatito. And then we got his evolved form, which is still going to be pure grass. And I actually like how this thing looks. I really think the yo-yo is cool. And then we get this final form here, grass and dark. And the big thing about it is his actual hidden ability has been confirmed to be Protean. And Protean is phenomenal. So this is probably going to be the best of the three starters in terms of competitive play. We know Protean has been OP for both Greninja and Cinderace essentially as Protean too. And both of them went to Ubers immediately. So I can see the same thing happening here. And then we got Coco, who's still my personal favorite, but I think actually ends up being the worst of the three when we talk about a competitive aspect. Its middle form is pretty all right. I'm not too much of a big fan of the egg on its head, but the flash form is super sick. Skelly George is absolutely phenomenal. The egg actually hatches, and it is playing music. It's using Skelly George as an instrument, and it's using its little face markings to play music on, which is pretty sweet. I think this thing is an absolute win on the design side, and its hidden ability is unaware. So it's actually going to be pretty tanky. It has pretty good special attack too. And then we got Quaxly right here. And finally, Quaxly is getting some love. We got Quaxwell, which is pure water, is the mid form. And then its last form here is water and fighting. It's like a carnival ducky. And it has the hidden ability Moxie. So it's going to be an absolute beast for sure. 85 speed, though, is a little bit slow. But with Moxie and 120 attack, it's going to hit really hard. So definitely stay tuned for more on this because I think it can actually be competitively viable. And I do think it's sort of like a water-type Blaziken without the speed boost. Then we got Lechonk and its evolution, which is Oinkalone, which is a male and female variant. I think that's some fantastic fan art, too. Pawmi, we actually didn't see anything about Pawmi that's new. There's a second Pawmi, and this is fan art based on the final form, but we've actually known this for a while, being electric and fighting. And it has a new move that with 1 PP brings back an exhausted Pokemon back to life. Then we got Smoliv, and then Smoliv's middle evolution, which is still grass and normal. Nothing on the final form yet, but we know it's going to be like an olive tree. Fido, nothing on the new evolution yet. We actually didn't see anything on the dogs, so we know the Graveyard evolves, and then the last dog is a dark dog, and that's going to evolve one more time as well. Then we got the Spider, which is actually really sick, which is, I believe, Tarantula, which is pretty cool. It's going to become Mono Bug still on evolution. And then we have the Scarab, which is going to be Bug and Psychic when it evolves. We didn't actually see anything on this yet either, so just take that with a grain of salt. But I think Bug and Psychic is not too exciting. We've already saw it with Orbeetle, so that it is what it is. And then we get the new Mono Bug type Nimble, which is a grass type, and I'm super excited. Definitely going to put it on my team. And it evolves into Lokix, like Lokiss, which is our very first bug and dark Pokemon. I think this thing looks really sick. I'm a big fan of it. Definitely going to be on the team. Then we get our waterfowl bird, our regional bird. This first time actually seeing it, it is a flying and electric type Pokemon, which is pretty cool. It is going to evolve once. We don't know what the evolution is going to look like yet. I really hope it's good because that typing is fantastic. So really want to put it on my team. Then we get the Parakeet Pokemon, which is normal and flying. We don't know if the Parakeet Pokemon is going to have different forms in terms of color, if it's going to actually have different hairdos, but we know there's going to be some sort of different form to it. We just don't know exactly what it's going to be. And then we got the Flamingo Pokemon named Flamigo, which is a flying and fighting type. It does not evolve. Apparently, it's an early game Pokemon too. It looks, you know, honestly, it's just a Flamingo, but it sort of looks like a pool toy, and I'm actually into that vibe. And then we get the Ostrich Pokemon, which is pure Psychic, and it does evolve once. And this is hilarious, this fan art. I mean, it's supposedly supposed to be like a Cleopatra type of ostrich, so we'll have to wait and see. But hey, Mono Psychic, I'll take it. We don't have any yet, so that's cool. And then we got Cetoodle, which is the pre-evolved form of Cetitan, and it's pure ice. And of course, we know Cetitan already. We've seen it from officially the Terra Whale Pokemon. I still think this Pokemon's actually going to end up being pretty good. And then we have the Dolphin Pokemon. We have not seen anything new on this guy. This is a fan art, obviously. And we know it evolves into another dolphin that stands up. And apparently one's going to be more like a superhero dolphin. But we still haven't seen any leaks on this guy yet. There is the pre-evolved form of Bellybolt, which we still haven't seen, but there's Bellybolt. And the Hike Fish, we still don't know about. We did get this one leaked image from before, so I am surprised we actually haven't seen anything else about it. But it is a water and psychic type Mon. We're still looking out for the Pink Hammer, Fairy and Steel, and this thing does evolve twice, and it supposedly is going to be really OP. And of course, we got Gimmighoul, and we know Gimmighoul is going to evolve. Apparently, it's going to become more humanoid and maybe like a liquid gold type of Pokemon. And then there's the roaming form, which we officially saw already. And then there's the brand new Hot Pepper Pokemon. This has been leaked. It is going to be Grass and Fire. I actually don't like the design of this at all. I'm not a fan, but it is what it is. And supposedly, it does evolve. We don't know what is the first form. This could be the final form, and I really hope it isn't the final form, but it does give me those vibes that it is. And then we have the mono fire type Pokemon that evolves into Armarouge and Ceruledge, and this first form is going to be available in both versions, and then the version exclusive is going to be based on an item that you use. Then the Crystal Flower that leaked a long time ago. This is actually going to be a late game Pokemon. It's going to be pretty good. And then we saw the first Rock Salt Pokemon, the pure rock Pokemon here. And I still can't say the name, so I'm not going to try to say it here. But it is pretty cute. It looks like it's a Minecraft Mon. And it evolves twice. And supposedly, it's going to have an ability that halves the damage it takes from Ghost type moves. Then we got the Engine Pokemon, which is essentially officially revealed at this point because we've seen it in like 4 trailers. Poison Steel. We believe we've been seeing the second form this entire time, so we haven't seen the first form yet. And then we got the Tumbleweed Pokemon, which is Grass and Ghost. Still haven't seen anything else on that yet. Then we got the pre-evolved form of Grafaiai, which is Strudel, the mouse Pokemon, which is pretty cool. And then the Mouse Couple, which we know is going to have an evolved form based on a family of 3 or a family of 4. Apparently the family of 4 is going to be a lot harder to get. Then we got the Titans. We got Cloth. We got the Earth Steel Worm here. Pure Steel, which is pretty cool. We don't have a name for it. Then we got the Flying Dart Crane. The Sushi Dragon, which is Dragon in Water. And then the Master, which is Pure Water. We still don't know anything about those. Then we got Wiglet and its Evolution Wugtrio. Still haven't seen its evolution yet. And then the regional fake of Tentacruel. Still need to see more on this guy too. I'm surprised this guy hasn't leaked. Then the pseudo legendary Ice and Dragon. We haven't seen anything on this. We just know it's a pseudo. It's going to be endgame. And supposedly it's going to be like a frozen dinosaur. Then we got Mankey evolving the Primate. And then the final form, which is going to be Fighting and Ghost. We don't know anything else about it. But then we saw Ponyard's final evolution. The evolution of Bisharp is gonna be like a Shogun, and this is actually really sick. Still gonna be Dark and Steel type. Dunsparce gets an evolution, but we have not seen what the Dunsparce Evo is gonna be. Of course, Girafarig evolves into Farigiraf. And Paldean Wooper, we now know its evolution, which is Clodsire. And he's such a derpy guy. I love him. A big fan of Clodsire. Still gonna be Poison and Ground typing. We've seen Paldean Tauros. There's 3 of them, and the one we saw, you can see on my Twitter account, but it's literally just a black-purple Tauros. The other one's going to be Fire and Fighting, and the other one is going to be Water and Fighting. So they're all going to be Fighting type, which is pretty cool. And then we got our Paradox Mons. If you want to see the actual images of those, definitely check out my Paradox video, or just go on my Twitter account. But we have Amoonguss here, Paradox Amoonguss, which is only going to be in Pokemon Scarlet, which is going to be Grass and Dark. Paradox Jigglypuff, which is Scarlet, Screaming Tail, which is Fairy and Psychic, also just in Scarlet. Then we got Paradox Mischievous, Ghost and Fairy, also just in Scarlet. Also in Scarlet, which is the Bug and Fighting Volcarona. I think Slitherwing is incredible. This is one of my favorites of all of them for sure. Roaring Moon, which is the Paradox Salamence, is absolutely incredible. So yeah, this thing is an absolute beast, and crazy. This is my favorite new Pokemon of all of them. This is why I'm picking Pokemon Scarlet for sure. Then Great Tusk, which is actually fantastic. This is the best offensive typing in Pokemon, being grounded and fighting, so super hyped for that. And then we got Sandy Shocks, which is Magneton Paradox, which is really weird. It's a weird looking one, but I actually like the design at the end of the day. And Paradox Suicune, which is exclusive to Scarlet as well, which is going to be the DLC. And now for Violet, we got Iron Bundle, which is the Paradox Delibird, Ice and Water. I actually like the design. It's growing on me. It's pretty funny. I like the meme. Iron Valiant, which is the leader of the Pokemon Violet Paradox Mons. It is a fusion of Gardevoir and Gallade. I think it's cool. I'm not the biggest fan of the Violet ones though, because all of them look like super robotic. Not the biggest fan personally, but I think this one actually looks better than most of the other ones. Then Iron Hands, which is actually my personal favorite of the Pokemon Violet Paradox Mons. Fighting Electric Hariyama, which is pretty sick. It has massive attack and HP stats. Then we got Iron Moth, which is fire poison. This is Pokemon Violet's Volcarona. I actually like the design. It's really simple. It does look like Volcarona. It's the same silhouette, but I do like the idea, and it's pretty cool. Then we got Iron Thorns, which is Paradox Tyranitar, Rock and Electric. I think this fan art looks actually a lot better than the actual Paradox Tyranitar. So right now, I'm actually not a big fan of this, and in looking at the stats, comparing the stats of this to regular Tyranitar actually ends up being a better Pokemon. So just take it as it is, but I'm not actually a big fan of this. Then we got Iron Treads Donphan, which is supposedly ground and steel type, which is pretty interesting. And which I actually think that's maybe wrong. That may be actually supposed to be a ground and electric, but we'll see. And there is Iron Julius, which is going to be Hydreigon, Dark and Flying, which will literally just looks like, I can show you a picture of Hydreigon, and that's literally what it is, actually Iron Jugulis. And then we got Virizion, which is for Pokemon Violet's DLC. And then we got all of the Dark Legendaries, which you haven't actually seen any of these leaked, but this is all fan art, so we know the types are right and the descriptions. However, we don't actually know what they look like, and of course, Koraidon having all its different forms, Cyclizar, and then Miraidon with all its different forms. And that is all of the Pokemon coming to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet at the moment. A lot of these leaks are pretty sick. If you want to see the real images, go to my Twitter account or Discord server. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and like the video. We'll be posting more information about abilities, moves, and all that fun stuff soon. And of course, when the game comes out, we'll be doing guide content as well. Anyways, peace out and have a good one.